Hemp plant, the scientific history. In this article we would like to present you the readers, the historical use of medical cannabis, and continue their review of the scientific history of the discovery of the properties of the main active ingredients in the cannabis plant CBD and THC. In this article we examine these scientific discoveries have been made and when that helped shed light and bring the cannabis plant to the world of science and accessibility of medical use to patients who can benefit from the use of the plant. Hemp plant, the scientific history. We will begin from distant history, discoveries made, examination of graves and writings of ancient civilizations regarding the use of cannabis for medical purposes, mostly trying to figure out what the science available to us today can state about the plant active ingredients historically used in humans. There are many researchers who believe that cannabis sativa was kind of one of the first crops of early humans and spread rapidly among the agricultural population of Afghanistan from across the globe today. Many ancient cultures in Asia to find proof for medical cannabis, regions such as India, Iran, the Middle East, China, and even in Siberia found evidence dating back thousands of years to use cannabis. Hemp plant, the scientific history. A mummy found in a tomb in Siberia and was dated to 3000 BC, was put into an MRI machine to scan its contents. The MRI device works by using magnetic fields which sets the movement of atomic nuclei within the body and scan them to give us a picture of the ingredients and their concentration in different body locations. Siberian mummy found traces of cannabis seeds. Researchers believe that it took to ease her pain. She suffered from breast cancer, as many tests proved the body. Siberian mummy was actually a princess of the tribe of the Siberian steppes, which explains the magnificent burial tomb deep in the ground. The ancient Chinese emperor, Shen Nung, who is considered the father of Chinese medicine, recognized medical uses of cannabis herb in 2600 before the Common Era, approximately, adding the plant to an impressive list of plants and herbs with medicinal changes. http://www.toxipedia.org/display/toxipedia/Shen+Nung. Hemp plant, the scientific history. As we continue the historical overview of the hemp plant, cannot say much about the discoveries and studies until the 20th century. In 1942, cannabis herb was the American Instructor Medicines and Herbs. Bentham 1937 Congress passed Hamakai legislation against the opinions of many doctors headed by Dr. William Woodward. In front of Congress that year rose by Dr. William asked Congress not to make the foreign cannabis drug ordinance illegal drugs because of the risk of losing a plant with medicinal properties that can ease for many patients. In 1976, the U.S. Congress is convinced that cannabis medicinal properties and provisions for a way patients can gain access to the plant and metastatic. Some progress, however, resulted from research done at the Weizmann Institute in Rehovot. In 1960, researchers found Raphael Mechoulam and Yuchil ingenious material cannabidiol, THC and CBD, is now known as one of the 113 active ingredients in the cannabis plant, but accounts for about 40% of its content. The discovery of Israeli researchers focused on the medicinal properties of the material age, who are THC and CBD, and mark it as a huge potential for the treatment of symptoms that as cancer, Alzheimer's disease, chronic pain, insomnia, and anxiety. Disclosure of Israeli researchers and disclosures came after helped establish the science about the physical traits of the main active ingredients in the cannabis plant. Is this, SIME enough and THC? http://www.cbdfoundation.org/history_of_CBDS. Hemp plant, the scientific history. Numerous studies regarding the active substances in cannabis in relation to personality disorders and developmental disorders of the cognitive system primarily responsible for our thinking. These studies examine the effects of cannabis from a societal perspective, while psychologically what is less relevant to us as we seek to examine the scientific medical history, which is derived from experiments and long science that allows us to conclude about the health of the patient. Studies which attempt to create a bridge of relationship and cause and effect relationship between the use of cannabis obesity behavioral aspect of the phenomenon. As stated, there are so many such studies but are less relevant to medical changes we want to cover about cannabis and its derivatives plant. http://www.alternate.org/drugs/latest-cannabis-science-u-need-know http://www.livescience.com/46114-marijuana-health-effects.html. Hemp plant, the scientific history. By the end of the 80s, any cannabis plant research is done by a handful of researchers around the world, with Israel and the Academy which ranked very high, both in terms of discoveries and in terms of gravity invested in research. In 1988, the U.S. Research Institute began to research. The researchers thought it has been many years since finding another brain receptor for creating cold with opioids, etc. So finding researchers predicted matched receptor or receptors similar to the active substance in the cannabis plant. Thus in 1988, researchers found the Institute for Medical Research at the University of St. Louis of the fact that in the mammalian brain have receptors designed to connect, and perhaps create processes in the body, with the cannabis plant seeds proteins. These receptors are protein molecules that are actually on the cell membrane, the material wrapped in the cell, with a function such as proteins that recognize molecules for cell nutrition and help the introduction into the cell. The researchers Ellen Volts and William Divna not only identified the receptor system reacts with these active ingredients, also noticed that these specific receptors the biggest amount of any neurotransmitter, nerve cell, to another is known to science, which is the brain. Hemp plant, the scientific history. In 1990 he continued to advance research when investigating team led by Ms. Matsuda stated that managed to map the receptors are essentially composed of a chain of amino acids in the cell borders and within cells in the brains of mice, which are known in humans. In addition, the team also announced he managed to replicate the same receptors of the hemp plant. Hemp plant, the scientific history. In the following years 1991 and 1992 continued discoveries in the field of POP and cooperation between research teams, as it was the team of Israeli research of Dr. Paid with the American team at the University of St. Louis helped map out and well define then the receptors in different minds and cannabis and how they create cold and flick one in the other. They called molecular material found which connects to the active ingredient THC, in the name of which translates from ancient Sanskrit language, India, the word blessing. Hemp plant, the scientific history, discovery and naming receptors we talked about in the past as CB1 and CB2, and understanding of how our and human and consumption of cannabis plant in the wake of the large amounts of receptors for the active ingredients of this plant. The researchers' theories that the plant is in the diet of mammals about 600 million years or so. This high number came researchers attempt to calculate how long it took to the specific form and reach the huge dimension as they knew her mama 90s of the 20th century. http://www.cmcr.ucsd.edu http://www.webmd.com/pain-management/features/medical-marijuana-research-web #1. Hemp plant, the scientific history. Hanabi's Day. In 2017 researchers already understand the system hemboidit and active ingredients which SIME enough and THC. Many studies have helped to map and explain scientifically how the system hemboidit correctly responds through negative feedback signals from the active ingredients in the cannabis plant and how they affect our bodies. There are many studies linking the active ingredients and especially the active ingredient CBD cure various diseases, chronic muscle pain, nerve inflammation, stomach pains, and more. In addition, there is also a research note the rabbi made about the behavior of these materials and systems for curing cancer cells from the body, sometimes in ways that surprised even the researchers themselves, but this particular review we will leave the next time.